combines my two favorite things, medicine and ministry. My name is Camry, and I'm currently a senior in college. I attend Spelman College, and I'm currently in the process of applying to medical school. I started this YouTube channel as a way to kind of document and share my journey with others, and also to encourage people who might be in a similar space as me. Either you want to go into medicine, or you're also a college student grappling with what exactly ministry looks like for you. So my first couple of videos are actually part of a series that was placed in my heart to do called What to Do in Your Season of No. And so for me, that is directly correlated to my medical school journey. And so I have notes on my phone. And I'm just going to focus on 3 practical things that you can do to kind of give yourself some encouragement. But most importantly, what do I mean by a season of no? I don't mean season of no as in God is shutting down all your plans because you're being deliberately disobedient. God told you to go left, you went right. God called you to preach, and instead you want to do your own thing. God told you to go here, and you decided, no, I'm more comfortable here. That's too far out of my comfort zone. That is not what I'm addressing. When I say season of no, I mean that God has promised you something, and you are deliberately being faithful and chasing after God and doing everything that He called you to do. But it seems like every door is being closed in your face. It seems like every time you actively pursue it and you're about to reach your breakthrough, something happens and the opportunity flops. So I just want to give you guys something to encourage you if you're feeling really discouraged in this space. And so number 1, an important point to realize is that in your season of no, it will seem like everyone around you is getting their yes. But I want to encourage you not to let it change you or your heart. So for me, this was super, super hard. As Christians, we're taught, don't be envious of other people's blessings. Support people, those who support you. And we're taught you're supposed to trust God. So of course we aren't going to say like, oh yeah, this really sucks. I feel really bad. No, that just never happens. And so we have a tendency to sweep things under the rug because, we aren't supposed to feel that way. But while yes, we are, you have to be transparent both with yourself and with God. First and foremost, God knows your heart. He already knows how you feel. So there's no sense in trying to sweep it under the rug and say, oh, yeah, I'm genuinely happy, but deep down inside you're jealous and trying to plot their downfall. It just does not work that way. And so God really can't help you with that anger if you don't give it to Him and say, God, I'm struggling with this. Can you help me? And so the truth of the matter is, when people around you are being blessed in that way, people say like, oh yeah, that means God is coming right up your alley. But sometimes it's also a test to see, will you remain faithful to God when things are looking hopeless? And so I really just want to encourage you to be patient and do not jump ahead of God. There are plenty of examples, but a very personal example for me of when I jumped ahead of God and it literally ruined my entire life. Was maybe about my sophomore year of college, I believe. I was super, super busy, and I just knew that like adding 1 or 2 more things to my plate would get me where I wanted to go in life, and I just needed to add these 2 more things. Even though I was super busy, I had a lot going on in my personal life. And instead of taking care of what needed to be taken care of in my spiritual and personal life, I said, no, I'm going to busy myself with work, all my extracurricular activities, this, that, and the third. And so I jumped ahead of God thinking this will get me to my blessing quicker. And little did I know, as soon as I embarked on that journey of adding all these things and trying to busy myself, I got sick. And I don't mean sick like, bedridden for a couple days. No, I was in the hospital. It was before spring break. My friends and I had planned a trip to Hawaii. And all those things kind of were up in limbo, all because Camry decided, God, you're taking too long, so I'm going to go ahead and do this, and it'll get me there faster. That forced me to slow down, and in that moment when I was sick, I really had to be real with myself and say, wow, if I had really waited on you, I wouldn't have been in this predicament. So I just want to encourage y'all not to run ahead of God, to trust Him. And then I also love scripture references with all my points. So I will say, that Galatians 6:9 tells us, do not grow weary in good doing, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. And everybody loves this scripture because it sounds great, it sounds fine and dandy, but I think the most important thing to remember, the most important word in this scripture is proper. Not our timing, because God's timing is not our timing. We might want something now, but we might not be ready for it. So remembering that God's timing is different from ours, but it's also more sweet and more precious than anything we could have ever thought or imagined for ourselves. You have to be able to have that level of trust and faith to say, you know what, God, I know you promised this to me, so I'm going to sit back, take a back seat, and let you be in the driver's seat and let you get me there in your time so you can press me and mold me so that when I get there, I can handle everything that's thrown my way. So that's kind of like the first thing that I wanted to remind y'all of, and just to encourage you, don't give up. So yeah, thanks so much for watching the first video. The second and third will be more so related to your personal faith and how to grow that even when you're discouraged. So I will talk to you all in the second video. Thank you guys so